Thirsty child. Not too perturbed about the presence of a herd of buffalo that have just moved through. I guess they know that they've moved on. They must have heard that the buffalo have gone, and buffalo could pose a threat. They do not like predators, and sometimes they do get a little bit aggressive with predators, especially youngsters, if they catch them. Coming so close that we're going to lose sight of them if they get any closer, because the front of the vehicle, we can't get the camera over that. That's the front of the vehicle, that blurred green thing that you see. It's what we call the bonnet, also known as the hood. Hello children. I can't tell you how it never ceases to amaze me that they can accept our presence like this, that we can sit here and they don't feel threatened at all. We are not threatening the children. The mothers are allowing us to be so close, even suckling. Quite an amazing experience. No matter how many times we do experience it, it's always very humbling. Hello, baby. Sorry. Gosh, I'm getting way softer. Just the ears popping up. Mika in California was asking whether the cub that was eating that female, was it a sign of affection or part of the grooming? It's a part of everything, Jessica. It's multiple things. It is grooming. It's a maybe an attempt at grooming, but it is also a social thing. It's an affection thing. It was just such a random spot on her body that it wasn't really necessary to groom there. If anything, the places are sort of behind the ears and the neck, and that's where it's more appreciated. So it was more a case of just, that was mom, and it's just sort of giving mom a bit of loving. In the guise of grooming, in the guise of social bonding, in the guise of maternal bonding, in the guise of well, all sorts of things. Not just one little thing. It's a lot of things that would have meant to both cub and to the youngster and the adult. Oh, you funny little child. You really are. Absolutely gorgeous. It's almost like, if you ever want to cuddle a hyena, that's the kind of size, age, look. That's how you want to cuddle a hyena, like when they look like that. When they get a little bit bigger, they lose that cuddle ability. Barbara and Marilyn saw what looked like one of the youngsters limping earlier. I thought I saw that too, Barbara, but it's no, definitely not learning to walk. They've been walking for months now. It might have just been a thorn it stood on at that moment that we saw it, but that's the one, if I'm not mistaken, the one in the background now. I think that's the one that might have appeared to have limped. One of these two little ones. And they sorry. They both seem to be doing fine. I think if anything, I'm just parked in a way that it's directly over me, that my head's going to get in the way, but I can't move because I've got trees in the way. We can move around that way. It might help. Let's do that, Brian. We can move to the eastern side and maybe see a bit of the sunset. But no, I think they're fine, Barbara. Nobody's limping. Nobody's injured. Gonna get into trouble if you put your nose in there. Then Mama's gonna snap at you. Maybe not. I'm gonna move so that if I can. Sorry, little one. See it. Get them running back to the den. Okay, maybe I can just sneak around this tree a little bit. And it's gonna disturb them. I'll try and go closer there. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go around the other side. Unfortunately, just the position I was in there, they just happened to all the action happened to be happening over my head and my hat. Go this way, stop here now, we might get to see a little bit of the colours of the late afternoon. It's not be ideal, but it'll be a little bit better in terms of Brian's ability to follow them without my hat intervening or interrupting. There you go. Jeffrey in Texas. Multiple questions from Jeffrey in Texas, in Austin. Hi Jeffrey, you ever see the bats? Lifespan of a hyena, how old are these cubs, and do they engage in cannibalism? Lifespan, I don't know Jeffrey, about 8 to 10 I think. How old are these cubs? Well, these two little ones are about 3 months, and I'm thinking that the bigger one is maybe about 3.5 months, only a couple of weeks older than the two smaller ones. Cannibalism, I've never witnessed it, but I guess maybe. I can't answer that. Look at this pretty little thing. Maybe they're about 3.5 and the other one's about 4 months, but they're around about there. Some noise behind me that this female that's suckling, she lifted her head to listen to, but I don't know what it is. But she's not too concerned. Hyena cubs always inquisitive. I've sat at home with hyena dens closer to home where they come and chew on my tires, and I've even had hyenas chewing on my boot. So the other one's licking its mother again. And I'm starting to think that maybe what it is doing is trying to prompt her. Judging by that, well, stop now. Maybe trying to prompt her to roll over so that it can suckle. So what it's going to do now is going to try and sneak in there and snuckle from an aunt. And I don't know if she's going to be allowed. Maybe not even going to try. I'll come back and bother our sibling then, I guess. Time to play. too loud. Please. Hello, James. James is in Kansas. An interesting question, and I don't know how to answer it. James wants to know if there's well, asking a question about the proportion males and females in births. Is it disproportionate given that the males are so subordinate? I really don't know, James. You know, hyena researchers who have been studying hyenas for decades still can't tell the difference between adult hyena until they maybe give birth and they're actually suckling. There's just this weird anomaly in the actual sexing of hyenas. Just by the way, the three have wandered off, and this is I think one of the other mothers, or maybe she's an older sister, but it looks like she's been left to go and see what the cubs are doing, and so she's gone to call them, and they're all running back up the road. Here they come, 1, 2. It's almost like she's I won't say reprimanding, but she's clearly gone to find them since they were getting a little bit too adventurous. Dangerous for them to get too adventurous. Wander too far from the adults when they're sleeping. She's now gone off for the older cub, because the older cub has still gone off, and I guess it's her duty to make sure that it doesn't wander too far. Pity we don't see down the road so well, but because of all the bush. But James, I'm really not sure of the ratio of males to females that are born. That's a very interesting question, and I'm sure that some of the studies, like that of Gus Mills, and some of the other hyena studies, maybe like Scotty Creel, Goran, I think, also did some hyena studies. It'd be interesting if they maybe had any idea on that. I do know that in some cases, when there is, in some cases in nature, where there is a higher population of males, that there will be a predominance of females being born. It's got something to do with pheromones and all sorts of things, but I don't know how that translates to the hyena population, and I couldn't tell you. I have no way of knowing or no way of telling. Even though we've seen the genitals of these three youngsters, there's no way of knowing whether they're male or female, even though they quite clearly might look like they're male. Unfortunately, female genitalia in hyena are almost identical to that of the males. Since there's a vehicle coming close by, it looks like the little ones are starting to run back towards the den. Plus I can hear a lot of people making a noise. But I think it's time for us to make our way to the lion. The hyena den to the lion's den, because I want to see if they might get active and see if we can't see some activity out of them. Charlie, who sent a tweet to #SafariLive, Charlie wants to know if there is a physical advantage to the sloping back. There is indeed, Charlie. The longer front legs coupled with a very, very thick neck, very, very strong shoulders allows them to actually physically pick up carcasses and run with them. It gives them a lot of upper body strength, but it also helps a lot in their gait. It helps a lot in when they're hunting. A hyena are very much a distance hunter. They tend to run down their prey rather than stalk and pounce like lion or some of the other cats. They've got this incredible stamina that allows them to physically hunt them down until they get tired, and that gait is assisted by the physiology of the animal. Good afternoon.
Are you?
Very good, and you?
Good, thanks.
I'm going to leave you to it.
Don't cry because of us.
Not at all. I'm going because I want to take my viewers to the lion.
Oh, wow.
Where's the lion?
You don't know yet?
Well, we saw them earlier, but I don't know if they're still there.
Oh, Twin Dams.
Oh, they're still at Twin Dams?
I don't know. I'm going to go and have a look.
Oh, okay. Will you let me know?
Yeah, sure.
Great. Yeah, I'm just going to come straight out with it and ask, what is up with the face gear?
The flies.
The flies.
Oh, the flies.
The flies.
To concentrate on the camera, to stop having to jerk
All the
that.
flies up my nose, in my mouth, in my ears.
I can't have all of that looking at the camera. Although it might improve my face.
And listen, you know about the rhino, hey?
Okay. Here comes that little older cub. Surprised if it doesn't get. Be surprised if it doesn't get reprimanded. I wonder where it's been. Come in from. Like a cat that got the canary. I'm going to just have to think about it. Bye bye, ladies. Thank you for your perseverance and thank you for your patience and thank you for allowing us to see your children. Most importantly. Just a quick word with one of the landowners that are here with his family.